Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so your friends see it. Thank you.
Trump just became the biggest Cowboys fan ever after what Jerry Jones said to Anthem kneelers. President Trump has had enough of NFL football players disrespecting the American flag and the national anthem. And Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, agrees. I do not think the place to express yourself in society is as we recognize the American flag, Jerry Jones told Fox Business Cheryl Casone last week. So that's not the place to do anything other than honor the flag and everybody that's given up a little bit for it. These NFL protests have gotten out of control. Yes, we have freedom of speech in this country. And many have fought and died for that freedom. But there's a time and place for everything, and the time during which we are honoring our flag and the men and women who sacrificed everything for it, is decidedly not the time, or the place. I happened to be at the Tennessee Titans game against the Seattle Seahawks, in Nashville on Sunday. No players from either team came onto the field to honor the flag or the anthem. And I personally know avid Titans fans who have vowed never to return to that stadium again. So, while those NFL players have their right to free speech, we, too, have the right to respond with our wallets. So I say, go Cowboys. And I know President Trump does, too. If you are a new, or old, Cowboys fan, at least a little now, please share this everywhere, and comment, Go Cowboys. T. Fox Business. Even bigger with only minutes left, Trump just changed one massive thing in his travel ban. President Donald Trump made a promise to the American people that he would do whatever was necessary to protect our country no matter what the media backlash was. Well, today the president did just that. He just officially expanded his travel ban, which was set to expire next week, to include 3 new countries with a very interesting twist. They are not all Muslim nations. That's right, y'all. The president expanded his travel ban to cover the nations of North Korea, Venezuela, and Chad. The reason North Korea was added to the list is obvious enough. The reason for Venezuela being added is that they are entering a very bloody civil war right now. Chad has major issues with terrorism and is also a sensible addition. At the same time, the new travel ban will actually only ban people from North Korea, Yemen and Syria from entering the U.S. People traveling from the nations of Venezuela, Iran, Chad, Libya, and Somalia will still be able to travel to the U.S. but with extreme vetting and restrictions. The reason the left is gonna hate this more than anything is that it totally destroys the idea of a Muslim ban. After all, Venezuela is heavily Christian and North Korea is some kinda crazy religion that worships the Kim family. It's important for everyone to see this new law and what it will entail for the people around them. Help share this everywhere so people are prepared for ban number 2. The crowd at Obama's house last night were caught screaming the worst thing imaginable. Barack Obama has been popping his head back into the media with little strategically placed interviews and tweets. And last night, outside of Obama's home in Greenwich nonetheless, a crowd did the most un-American thing possible. While Michelle and Barack were attempting to leave their house, they were ambushed by a mob of unrelenting fans. That's when it happened. The crowd was heard chanting, "Still my president." To be fair, Obama was not commanding them, but just the sentiment and the ferocity of these stalker fans is terrifying enough. I'm sorry, y'all, but that's just not right. Obama is absolutely not still the President of the United States. Once Trump's term is over, I will take the same position on him too. That's how the country works after all. I take no offense to "Not My President" bumper stickers. Each side buys them from time to time. However, these rabid Obamanites have already shown their devotion to their perceived leader. If nothing else, It's insane that these people are allowed to crowd into a neighborhood at all. This needs to stop. The cult followings. The burning cars. The blocking streets. And now this fantasy of alternative presidents. Show people that Americans as a whole stand against it by helping spread this video to everyone. People need to see this side of the population so we know what we are actually up against. Right after the game, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin did something horrible to Army Ranger who stood for Anthem. This Sunday, NFL players made a point to unite together against our president and our military. The Pittsburgh Steelers made the ultimate cowardly move and stayed in the locker room during the national anthem. Only one player on the team, Alejandro Villanueva, had the courage to go against orders from the coach and stand on the field for the anthem. Villanueva is a former Army Ranger who served 3 tours in Afghanistan and was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for valor. He wasn't going to let politics come before his patriotism. But instead of praising Villanueva or understanding why standing for the anthem is so important to an Army Ranger, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin trashed his own player, claiming that Villanueva was disrespecting his team. Tomlin said in a post-game press conference that he was looking for 100% participation in whatever course of action the team took during the national anthem. When asked by a reporter about Villanueva coming out for the anthem, Tomlin said, "Like I said, I was looking for 100% participation. We were gonna be respectful of our football team." Apparently Coach Tomlin cares more about having respect for his football team than he does about respecting our veterans. Tomlin also took a sideswipe at President Trump, saying that he didn't appreciate being dragged into politics this weekend. Someone needs to remind Tomlin that it wasn't Trump who inserted politics into football. You can thank your whiny, entitled, attention-seeking football players for that. America has spoken right after the NFL united against Trump and America. They got the worst news imaginable. This Sunday, NFL players made a point to unite together against our president and our country. Players on nearly every team showed some form of protest and disrespect for our military men and women. 3 teams, the Seahawks, Titans and Steelers, made the ultimate cowardly move and stayed in the locker room during the national anthem. Only one player on the Pittsburgh Steelers, Alejandro Villanueva, had the courage to go against orders from the coach and stand on the field for the anthem. Villanueva is a former Army Ranger who served 3 tours in Afghanistan and deserves to be commended for his actions. These entitled NFL millionaires seemed pretty proud of themselves for their disgraceful behavior, but after their performances ended Sunday, they got hit with a harsh dose of reality. Not only did ratings drop, stock shares of every single company that broadcast NFL games plummeted. Comcast, Walt Disney, Fox, CBS are all down between 1% to 8%. An article in The Hollywood Reporter reckons the drop in NFL ratings could trim the broadcaster's earnings by $200 million. Disney's ESPN, meanwhile, also continues to get hammered by cord cutting. Our president is standing with the majority of Americans on this issue. A Reuters poll found that 72% of Americans find kneeling during the anthem unpatriotic. Let's be honest, this isn't about race, inequality or police brutality. It's about selfish entitled egomaniacs just finding another way to play the victim. Sure, it's their right to choose not to participate in our national anthem, but where would they be if our military members chose not to participate in fighting for their freedom? Maybe they need to think about that. Seconds before he got on the plane, Trump turned to camera and dropped bombshell about NFL boycott. This whole weekend, if you turned on the mainstream media, there is almost a guarantee they were sitting there trying to call the president a racist just because he stood up to NFL anthem kneelers. Anyone who knows anything about this president knows he is not gonna put up with being labeled a racist when he is nothing of the sort. That's why moments before he climbed on board Marine One today, he stopped and gave an impromptu press briefing to clear it up once and for all. He explained his position of supporting troops and respecting football players. Then, at the last second, one of the reporters asked if it was a racial issue. President Trump stopped, turned to the camera and said, "I never said anything about race. This has nothing to do with race or anything else. This has to do with respect for our country and respect for our flag." He is right. There is nothing about this even remotely racial based. After all, white players have kneeled during the anthem too at this point, and Trump did not exclude them from his statement. No, this is about giving up a few seconds before a sporting event where we honor the men and women who died for our country. Trump knows this, and so do most Americans. The president has now done his part to clear up this whole mess. Now it's up to us to help him spread this everywhere and let him explain in his own words how not racist this really is.